Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 5 of our 90 days Excel Skills Mastery Challenge. I'm sure you have enjoyed day 1 to day 4, and day 5, we are still continuing with the challenge. So before we zoom into today's activity, I want to send my warmest Eid Mubarak wishes to all my Muslim members of Tech for UGH community. May this season brings peace, joy, and prosperity to us and our families. Thank you for making time to keep learning even during this festive season. We have gone through series of training in the previous ones, and we started a series on Excel, navigating the Excel interface. We have looked at part 1, part 2, and I think today we can conclude with part 3, where we looked at the view. We have not mentioned the view, so today we are going to go through to look at the view. So let's quickly go and continue with the view. Keep watching. Okay, so the thing is that sometimes Excel feels very messy, and because the grid lines are distracting or the text is too small, we go to the view tab to increase the text or to remove the grid lines and make sure that we are clear with what we are doing at the Excel interface. So if you want to clean the look for a presentation, to check grid lines and other stuff of it, we all do it within the view tab. So today we are going to look at the view tab into a bit of details. Now the view tab is just like all the other tabs that we have mentioned. The view tab is also located in the ribbon, and it has a various groupings. So we're going to spend a period to look at the various groupings that we have. So the first group under the view tab that we can talk about is the workbook view. And the workbook view, what it does is that it only changes the page layout of our book. So we have various tab buttons that we can click to look at the effect. The first one is the normal. So whenever you open Excel fresh, it's always put it in a normal view. So we see our normal grid lines across all the various forms that we have. So that is a normal view. But if we want to see the page breaks, we can also click on page breaks tab button here, and then we can see the various pages that the Excel is recognizing within the workbook that we have opened or within our work interface. So we can also have the page layout, which will put it into various forms for us. And then we can also look at the custom views for you to set it up. So these are the things that always happen within the workbook view. And under page layout, we will look at how to customize printing more. So we'll come back to look at it, how to customize printings and other stuff. Now, the second thing we can look at for in the view tab is the show group. The show group only hide or shows helper lines that we have on the working space. So we can check and uncheck the grid lines. If you don't want the grid lines to show, you can just uncheck it, and then all the grid lines will go. Normally we do this uncheck so we can present from Excel. When you are doing presentation and you have a lot of grid lines, it doesn't really allow your work to come up because your works are too small. And so the more you leave the grid lines, the more you make the thing look more clumsy to people. So you take it off, and then you can have a nice presentation. When you are done, you can click on it and bring it back. Now, the next thing here is that you can also hide the formula bar. For purposes of understanding, the formula bar is just the bar beneath the ribbon, and we have the whatever is there that it displays the content of the cell that we have. So we can check to take it off, or we can check to bring it. When it is there, it helps. But in some situations, when we are doing modeling, in some situations, we want the formula bar to go to give us more space to the working space, so we can do more or view more. So you can check and also uncheck to bring it. We can also hide the headings. The headings are the column headers that we have here, the A, B, and C up to where it is. You can check it and hide it, and then you can bring it back. And then the other one is where we can also look at the data type icons that we have. Then we can also set focus. The thing about set focus is that if I inherit a very large data set, or I'm comparing two parts, then I want to be able to keep focus on it. I can select and then it's set focus. So when you click on set focus, you have put the Excel in set focus. The moment you select an active cell, everything on the column for that active cell and the row will be highlighted for you, so that it tells you where you have selected. So whenever you move, it's moving for you. So that's set focus. It can save you a lot of time when you have a large data set, or you are doing comparing other things on the Excel working space. You are comparing a lot. Focus cells will be able to help you to do that without any delays in it. Very, very efficient in viewing or comparing size on the same working space. So another tab that we can also talk about here is the zoom tab. The zoom tab, like the name suggests, makes the cells bigger or small. So if I want to zoom in so that you see more, I can zoom in for you to see more, or can also zoom out for you to see. So the role of the zoom here is to be able to make the work look. So you can go to zoom and determine that. If you want to say, oh, I want to see 200%, you can go in and do that. You can also go in and then change the zoom anyhow you want. And the beauty is that you can even customize it to any number that you want. So I want to do 90, then it gives me 90. So technically, that is how the zoom actually works. Then we can also have the zoom percentages. That one, you pick it yourself. And then another zoom selection is also here. Where you have selected, you can click zoom and then it maximizes it for you to be able to do that. Okay, so as part of the zoom, let me just add that when you quickly come to our menu bar down here, you will see that we have the zoom, quick zoom view over here, where we have the line with minus sign and plus sign. So when you use the minus sign, you reduce it, and when you use the plus sign, you increase it. So you can increase it to any percentage that you want, also on the bar here, the menu bar down here. So that is the zoom for you within the working space. Now the other stuff that we want to look more closely with it is the windows that we have. So there are various tools or buttons within the Windows group. And under Windows group, we have the new window. New window, maybe we have inherited a very big data set and we are comparing parts. We can create an automatic window of this. Just click on new window and you have created another window for that. And when you are done, you can still go to the view and go and click on arrange. Then you can place this window side by side, either horizontal or vertical. Place it side by side so that you can be able to zoom in here. And it's the same sheet. So whatever change that is being made on one is also automatically reflect on the other one. But this one is just to help you to be able to zoom or compare parts. So if I want to see the top here and I also want to see the down here, I can technically go inside and determine what I want to do. So that is the also using the windows to create that. Let's quickly go inside and then continue with it. Okay, so the next one we can talk about is the freeze pane. The freeze pane also help us to be able to keep part of the working space constant, so that whether we are scrolling left or right, we are able to see that part that has been kept constant. So let's look at this. When I scroll up, I lose the title of my data. So sometimes it becomes difficult to be able to know what these figures that you have here, these items or values that you have here represent, because the title is missing. So if you have a huge data, you must always go up and compare when you forget and do that. The freeze pane will let you do it with ease. And so that's what we are looking at. The freeze pane here, if I click the down arrow, I see 3 different types of freeze pane. I have the freeze the first column, freeze the top row, and then freeze pane. So the freeze the first column will always freeze the column A. So once I select that one, my column A is held constant for me. So that I can scroll left and right, left and right, left and right with it without affecting the column A. If I don't want it, I go back and freeze the same thing and it takes it out. So it goes off for me. Now, if I want to see only the first row, the top row, which is row 1, then I'll go to freeze the top row, so that when I keep moving up, the top row is also kept constant for me. And so if I have headings in that, then it will be able to help me to compare. Now, the last one is what we call the customized part. So what it is that you can select a part of a cell and freeze all the rows and the columns that comes before it. So for this particular data that I have here, assuming I want to freeze the heading, you will see that the heading is on 3rd row. So the previous 2 demonstration do not apply to this one. However, the customized one will allow you to be able to freeze the parts that you want. So I'll select, let's say E5, E4. What it means that whatever row that comes before the cell E4 will be held constant. And then whatever columns that comes also before E4 will also be held constant. So that is my customization. When I click on it and then I select, you see that now the column is held constant. There's 1, 2, 3 because I selected the 4th row. And then the column A, B, C, and D is also held constant because I selected column E. So the thing is that wherever I select, let me set focus. So wherever I select, the cell that comes before, the rows that comes before where I've selected will be held constant, whilst the column that comes also will be held constant. So it will help you to be able to navigate very well without losing the part of the workbook that you want to keep, the part of the worksheet that you want to keep. You don't want to lose it. So the freeze pane is also very good for you. Now the splitting also works like creating a window. But this one, it is always on one sheet, and then you can be able to view maybe 4 different quadrants, move in any part that you want, and that will help you to be able to compare the data that you are handling. It's the same window that is being split into 4 different windows for you. So basically, those are the things that we can do under the window tab. We can also be able to switch between windows if you have a lot of windows as well. So you can switch between the windows. Then the macros will also help you to be able to automate the work that you are doing. So it helps us to be able to automate the work we are doing. So all the VBAs that we write in Excel are done on the macro. So you can record the macro or view recorded macro already. You can also be able to do your relatives and all that. So these and many other stuff that are fine within the view tab that we can do. So the lastly, let's focus on just customizing the ribbon so that we can conclude on it today. So in customizing the ribbon, what we mean is that the tabs that we have at the top here, we either take some off or add new ones. That is the customize. And then we can also create a custom ribbon where you can pack all the individual tools that we use under it. So if I want to customize ribbon, there are 2 approaches. I can go to the file at the backstage and click on the options that we have. And then I can use these options to be able to do that. So on the far left here, you see customize ribbon, and then it will open the customization pane for you. Then you do it. The another way to go is also to right click in the tabs that you have, and then you click on customize ribbon, and then it takes you here. What do we mean by customizing? All the rights items we have on the right tab here, are the items that are showing on our ribbon. So if you don't want any item to show on the ribbon, you can deselect the item and then you click OK. Once you do that, those items have been taken off. The function tab, other things that we did have been taken off. So that's how we can also take some off. And then we can also click on it to bring the same thing back. And so once we click on it, you see the same thing has been popped up for us. Then the next one we can also do is to be able to properly customize it. So we can create a new tab, and then we can also create a new group, and then we can rename any of them. You select the actions you want to, then you put the new group name there, then you click OK. Then you can now say OK. So once you click, you see that a new tab has been introduced. We didn't create any group, so there is no grouping. So you can do that by customizing it. Let's go back again and add tools to what we have here. So customize. So we just created a new tab. We have not renamed this tab. We can name it. We can go to rename, and then we can name this tab anyhow we want it. I can call it personal tools. I can call it personal tools, or what we call first aid, personal tools. Then I click OK. Then under it, I created a tab, so we can go in and check the tab that we have. We can also rename this tab and call data management tools. So all the tools I use to manage my data, I'll put it under it. Then I can come here, and then I said I want to look for the sheet that the tools that we want. So I want to add refresh all. I click add, then refresh all is added to it. I want to do the sum, then I'll add it to it. I want to open files, then I'll add it to it. I want to do a insert table, and then I'll add it to it. So all that I've added to the tools is that once I click OK, and then I go to my toolbar, I can see the personal tools that I created, and then the tabs that I've added to it over here. So it's creating data management tools as a group for me, and then you can put the various type of tools that we have. So technically, that is how we can also customize our worksheet. So today we have looked at the view, and we have looked at the various sections of the view, where we said we have the workbook views, we have the show, we have the zoom, we have the window, and then we have also looked at the customizing the ribbon. Now we have the name tab here. What the name box does is that it displays the content, the name of the cell, active cell that you have selected. So when you select an active cell, the name is built inside. Then we also have the title bar that we have shown, the function bar here, which also displays the content of the cell. So technically, this was the Excel interface and how to navigate. And I believe that we are going through these 3 days, we'll be able to navigate with confidence without necessarily find wanting in the application. I want you to go to the description below this video and take today's exercise. And when you are done, keep your comment coming right down on the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that when I drop a new video, you'll be the first person to catch it. And let's keep the fire burning. Let's keep learning. Tomorrow we are going to learn something better. We are going to learn about how to capture data into Excel and treat the various types of data that we have. Oftentimes it's difficult for us to capture data, understand how Excel interprets the various data that we capture. So tomorrow we'll spend 10-15 minutes to learn how to enter data into Excel and how to do the various editing that we do. Thank you very much, and stay tuned as we drop the next video tomorrow. Thank you.